because you got people in Bitcoin that love Bitcoin the way the mother loves and will never give up on that baby in the preemie ward. You've got people that are invested in Bitcoin who will never sell their Bitcoin. They will never give up. Bitcoin could drop from $118,000 to a penny, and they're still going to believe in Bitcoin. People like that make me say, okay, you got a solid foundation. You got some people that are really going to come through for you no matter what. So that makes makes me more willing to invest in the company. And the same thing is true in general. If you are looking to invest in a business, in fact, people come to me all the time with business ideas. If I meet somebody who has a business, my first question is, well, how much have you invested? How many years have you been working on this idea? So if I meet somebody who's like, oh, Doc, I just came up with this idea 20 minutes ago and I want you to give me $50,000 to do it, I'm like, hell no, I'm not doing that. There's nobody that's gonna keep this baby alive when it gets sick. But if somebody says, "Oh, I've been working on this for 10 years. I've invested hundreds of thousands of hours. I know my customers really well, and I put every penny, my last penny into this thing," that tells me that that's a baby that's going to be kept alive. Right now, it may not be a healthy baby, but it's a baby that has a parent that loves it. And those babies are the ones that are most likely to survive. So when you pick a dream, when you pick a goal, when you pick a business, you got to ask yourself, am I going to love this business the way a mother loves her child? And if the answer is yes, then that's your thing. So long story short, I believe in the Grand Slam League. I believe Michael has a great chance to be successful. I would be sincerely concerned, and I strongly believe that right now he might be sort of exuding confidence because he has to, but I don't know if he believes that this business is going to be around for as long as they expect. So again, not criticizing, but I think they had a rough year, and I just felt compelled to talk about it because I didn't want them to have a bad year. I wanted them to do really well, which they did sort of kind of. I think without that investor backing out, I think it would have been business as usual. And so let's see how things go forward. And if anybody from their team sees this video and they want my advice for free, I'd be more than happy to support their cause because I think that that what they're doing is quite worthy. I also think that we as Black people in general have to start owning, all these athletes and everything, NFL, NBA. I just don't understand why they haven't pulled their money together and started their own sports league. Get on the phone with some freaking banks and all these people that claim to love you and make them write checks. And that's the other thing too. When you're doing business, make sure you always know the difference between people that are willing to write a check versus people that are willing to yap. Yappers are not the same as check writers. So if I'm talking to a billionaire and I know some, I don't care if you're a billionaire if you're not willing to write a check. I'd rather talk to a thousandaire who writes a check than a billionaire who talks any day of the week. So that's just my perspective on it. Thank you for listening. I promise you the profit alert. So I'm going to let's see here. With all due respect, Dr. Watkins, I wouldn't write you a $10 million check either if you were speaking to two billionaires like you know everything. If you know everything, go make the money yourself. That's true. That's a good point, Morpheus. So I won't ask Morpheus for the money, and it's okay. I don't need a $10 million check. I've already got money now, so I'm good. But here's a list of the top top five stocks you can buy your kids. One of the things I believe in deeply is that if you want to really build your family wealth, you got to get your kids invested early. So you guys know I taught on the faculty of Syracuse for 12 years in finance, and one thing I can tell you for a fact is that if you get your kids started early, they have a greater shot at being successful. So I put together a list of five stocks you can buy your kids that will engage them with economics, get them prepared for the future, help them understand the value of money, and make sure they're not going to struggle. You have to do this for your kids if you don't want them to struggle. Too many of the millennials and Gen Zers are struggling because they didn't have parents that prepared them.